time I'm meeting you and talking
Yeah,
to you. It's a
it's
pleasure.
not like I totally debated everyone into saying it twice.
Oh no, not at all. I was just mouthing, right? Like
Exactly.
puppeteer work.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that
exactly.
was exactly.
Ventriloquism. It's quite the act. The best part is that this is gonna be edited on YouTube and no one's gonna know what happened. This is why I gotta be here for the streams. I'm just saying. You get the raw, unedited version on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sprengra. However, Posh, at the very start of every single one of our shows, we played this game. And it is called Quick Questions. And maybe this is the first time you've ever been here. Maybe you've never seen this show at all. And you're like, what the heck is a quick question? What is quick questions? What is this we do here? Well, I'm going to ask you to direct your eyes to the screen as we played a little intro video that we made.
Okay.
So, quick question is quite simple here. There's only 3 rules to it, which is, I mean, we like to keep it easy here. We don't want to confuse you too much. That's not the part of this. We want you to be able to relax and have fun and hang out with us. The first one is that there's going to be 10 questions. The second one is that you, the guest, are going to have 60 seconds to answer every question. And number 3, for every 5 seconds left on the clock, the viewers are going to be gifted 1 sub each. So, there's not too much of a pressure on you, but there is.
So 60 seconds for each question
No.
or for all the
questions? All the questions.
So who wants a gifted sub? Who wants a gifted sub? Can we get some hype emotes or some hearts in chat?
Really though.
I think I could definitely deliver for y'all.
Also,
thank you, V.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
up.
Brent, take a fucking breath, dude. You sound like the voice at the end of a medicine commercial that tells you all the bad side effects. Yo! Thank you, Fluffy. Appreciate that. Look at Gina, too. Couldn't have given it out to a better person. So,
yeah.
Right, exactly. What's up, EE? How's it going? Good to see you. I saw your question, by the way, E. So you're gonna have to pause a little bit. You know how this goes. So I am going to start the timer in just a second here, and I'm going to start asking you these one by one. As you finish, we will continue on to the next one. So you want to go fast. You want to the speed is the name of the game here.
Okay.
All right, Posh, you feeling ready? You feeling lucky?
I will ask one more question.
Of course.
Do the answers are they like one-worded answers?
They can be, yeah.
Like,
they could be, yeah.
They can be?
Yeah,
okay.
They definitely can be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can I get answers wrong?
In this section, not really. I mean...
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
I mean, chat will let you know if you get them wrong. Don't you worry, right, chat? Chat, I need you to spam that love, please. Make sure that I know that you're ready. I love those daddy emotes. We got Daddy Jacko and Daddy Andy over here in these emotes. But spam that love. Let me know you're ready to make sure that we pick apart every single one of Posh's questions or answers on stream here. So because I don't have a thing here, I'm using a weird notepad here, so it's going to be a little bit more scuffed than usual around this part of town today. Posh, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alrighty, we are starting right about.
Don't waste my time, sir. We got 60 seconds. What you're not gonna do is mess up these people's gifted subs, okay?
Unshakable, exactly, Jay. Unshakable. Oh my goodness. She said, "Don't waste my time, sir." Oh my goodness, Fluffy, thank you for the gifted tier 1 to my boy Bartleby. Oh, thank you for that. My goodness. Bard walking away with everything today. Thank you so much, Fluffy. You're too sweet. You're too amazing. Thank you so much. You've already spent too much money on me. All right. I'm going to quickly mute the alerts here for 1 second as we start this thing here. However, we'll call them out if anything comes up during this part here. Straight up call us a dumbass. So, all right, calm down. Alrighty, Posh, for real now. We're gonna start in here. Right. Yeah. What is your favorite word?
Posh.
What is your favorite food?
Jajangmyeon.
What is your favorite drink?
Water.
What is your favorite number?
8.
What is your favorite movie?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
What is your favorite memory?
Being born. I shit you not. I know.
What is your favorite vacation you've ever taken?
Favorite vacation was Dominican Republic for sure.
What is your favorite animal?
Favorite animal would be a skipper key dog, if not an orangutan.
What is your favorite family tradition?
Dinner, having family dinners together.
What's the favorite gift you've ever received?
Favorite gift would be an Hermes bracelet.
Okay. You beat the clock, but you did not beat the 5 seconds, unfortunately. So,
Mm,
unfortunately, chat's not getting anything now. However, we have this little game
okay.
called Two Choose One Lie after the break that we tend to usually give things away. Someone go wake up Pugs.
Sorry, y'all. Okay.
Because let's go. We might be doing a giveaway. We might be giving away an Amazon gift card later. So that's possible. So, however, we're gonna go through every single exactly. The presence is the best gift. I agree. What's up, Ludus? Welcome back in. How's it going? Good to see you. It's been a minute. Yeah, where's Pugs? Someone tell me where Pugs is. But we're gonna go through every single answer that you said here, and we're gonna pick it apart and see kind of why you chose that as your favorite here. So the first one, I think it's a little bit self-explanatory, but I want to see why you even chose it in the beginning. Is your favorite word is posh? So explain.
I think that defines me. I think I just can't help it. Ever since I was younger, I believe I explained the etymology of where my username came from quite a few times,
Oh,
at least on my stream.
I'm just gonna turn you up
But
here a little bit, just because you're a little quiet.
okay.
You're good.
Just yeah, put me at 200. There we go.
Want to hear it in the
But yeah,
back?
I explained where my name came from, and really it originated when I was in middle school. And my two favorite words at the time was spunky and posh. But because I essentially chose posh over spunky, one, because it just sounds better. But two, but I just definitely feel like it defines who I am. It is a bit bougie or bourgeois, someone who of a higher class, fancy, with etiquette, things of that nature. And I was actually raised um to be a Southern belle. So I was raised growing up to have etiquette, to be essentially to be what my name is, to be posh. Um, and also I am told quite often that I'm quite eloquent when being vocal or with how I move, how I behave, um, and just even in conversation, my intelligence tends to seep through. So it's just I just felt not to be so egotistical, but I definitely felt like Posh was just what I was, considering especially um with who people see me as, all the stereotypes where people see me as. So it's like I don't fit the bill, so to speak, to what a lot of people, especially in American society, would assume that I am. So I think being posh, I think it definitely is like a unique marker as to like my identity for sure.
For sure, for sure. The second one, you said your favorite food. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Jajangmyeon.
Jum.
It is black bean noodles. It is my favorite food right now. I am a food lover. Let me just say, I have been craving jajangmyeon. Jajangmyeon, it is, well, in Korean, it's jajangmyeon. In Chinese, it's similar because Korean is similar to, it actually derived from Chinese. But it basically is black bean noodles. So you have black beans, and then you create like a sauce with it. It's how do I say this? It's savory. It has a deep, like, I want to say umami, but it definitely has like a deeper, almost like hearty type of flavor. Um, and the sauce is a little bit on the thicker side. It's not really brothy. It's definitely a sauce. And then you have it over noodles. So the sauce itself and everything, it just looks dark black, if not brown, like very dark, dark brown. But it's absolutely delicious. Sometimes I usually add like carrots in there or little bits of meat in there, but it's definitely one of those cheat foods. It's not healthy. It's not something that you can have every day, but it's a very easy thing to make. But it's, yeah, it's incredibly delicious. Everyone, yeah, for those of y'all who know in chat, you know it's really good. Um, but that's what I'm craving right now. if I were to say overall, I used to say lasagna, but I figured it would be easier to just say what I'm craving right now than opposed to just favorite,
Lasagna is
I
great
guess.
too. So totally fair.
Yes.
Water. I mean, you can't go wrong with water. So I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Hmm.
I don't want to make you explain water, but that one's pretty explanatory. However, I'm going to make you explain this next one. You said your favorite
Yes.
number was number 8.
Hmm.
Obviously, I know your birthday just passed, so it's not on the 8th. But maybe unless
Hmm.
there's a year that has the 8th in it somewhere. I don't think so
Hmm.
though. So where does the 8th favorite number come from? Is it like a sport you've played? Like where does that come from? Because obviously not a birthday, unless it's someone else's birthday, possibly.
No. Nope. And you're gonna laugh at me at the reason. It's because it looks pretty. That's it.
That's the most
It's
posh thing I've
curvy.
ever heard.
It's just curvy and it just looks pretty. Just like my favorite letter is S, very similar to the number 8.
Okay.
And it has been doing me justice. I like the number 8. And ironically, someone that I mod for, their name is Eighth. And I was like, yes, amazing. I
We love the
resonate.
curvy 8s.
Yep, also infinity. See,
That's
it
true.
works. It
That's true.
works.
That's true.
I like shapes. Like I like shapes. So it just happened to work. It just happened to work, yes.
Okay. You said your favorite movie was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So why
Mm.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? What spoke to you in that movie?
Do you know the movie?
I have not watched it. I cannot say I have. I've
I can
possibly
tell.
seen scenes.
Because the way that you said it was like you were very unfamiliar with the song. I will say this part, which is actually the main part of the movie. It's actually a song. Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. We love you. Hey, oh, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. What we do, high, low, anywhere we go. Oh, what a happy time we'll spend.
Give me a
Chitty
DMCA
bang bang,
strike here,
chitty chitty
Posh.
bang bang. Our five for offended friend. It is a musical. The movie itself probably lasts like 2.5 hours, maybe 3. I'm not too sure. It was one of the first movies that I had on VHS. So growing up, I had VHS tapes. I am that old, yes. Um, and and one of the movies was that one, and it was just such a delight to watch, especially when I was younger. I think it's maybe the last G-rated movie I probably possess. And it was a movie about imagination, to say the least. I think that's the best way that I could describe it. It had such an elaborate imagination, and it was an adult who fueled this imagination for their kids. So there was drama, there was a conflict, all these fun things, but definitely wonderful songs to sing. Um I just find it iconic. I like exaggerated movies, especially growing up, like Austin Powers, or things that were just not um that just was not realistic, right? Like things that just were just so into fantasy. I think that was it's my first favorite movie for sure, and so it's definitely my default. And when I actually started streaming, um, my alerts were from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang as well. So yeah, it definitely is my favorite for sure.
Awesome. Okay. This one's interesting to me.
Mm,
You said your favorite memory was being born. Not many people can say
mm,
that, so I'm interested to hear about this
mm.
one.
So I phrased it like oddly.
Okay.
So what it was is I remember I had this memory that I was an angel and I was looking down on earth and I saw my mother and she was lonely and I came down to her and then I was born. That was my favorite memory. And it's my favorite not because it brings me happiness immediately, or at least directly, but it because it also brings my mother like insane
Of
happiness.
course.
So it was a memory that I felt that I had. I guess it could obviously be argued. But it was a memory that I remember having when I was younger and expressing it, obviously when I was at the age to be able to speak. Um, and expressing that to her, and I still, have, vivid memories of that. So yeah, that I would say that would be my favorite memory.
Okay.
Mm.
You said your favorite vacation you ever taken was Dominican Republic.
Mm. Yeah, so as far as vacation places, not necessarily the events that happen in vacation or like the memories, but as far as places that I've been to as of yet, definitely Dominican Republic. I wanted to move there actually. The weather, the food, everything. I mean, I am part Dominican, so I definitely felt like in a sense almost at home, but it was just the atmosphere, the weather, everything. I could have lived there to be fair and be happy. But I still have more to explore, so who knows, maybe by next year it'll change.
Exactly, exactly. Um, you said for your favorite animal, you specified, but I wasn't fast enough on writing it down. But you said dog, some sort of there was a special type of dog, or I think you said orangutan.
Yes.
Yes.
So my first favorite animal was an orangutan. Because I used to go to the library a lot and I just remember reading up on orangutans and finding them so interesting and so adorable looking. And so I was like, I love orangutans. But as I got older, my favorite animal then became a Schipperke dog. Schipperke. Yes, it was just a very cute dog, and I was like, "This dog is just." It was on those dog shows where they showcase the dog doing all these cool things, and I was like, "That dog,
Like what
that
that
dog is a
dog doing?
badass dog. That dog is badass, and I want part. I want part of this dog, like this dog's life." Um, and so it was just like it just stuck with me. And I always wanted the dog, but unfortunately, like with the way that my parents are, they're like, "What pets? Ha! You're but plenty enough to take care of. No, no pets for you. When you get your own house, like maybe then you can." I was like, "What about a fish or a turtle, like a pet rock?" Nope, because it's too much dirt and all this. Yeah. So, but yeah. So I would say the first one would be a orangutan. The most recent one would be a Skipper Key dog.
Okay. I thought the dog brings out the accents here too. The you said for your favorite family tradition, you said was dinner. So do you want to explain a little more what you meant by dinner?
Yeah, so usually whenever we have like some type of holiday, we usually have dinners together. So with that, it's like I don't like the food is just bomb. I ain't gonna hold you. Like the food is just amazing. I wish I could invite you, but like honestly, like it we've been hanging out. I want to say hanging out, but gathering together less and less often. Since like my generation, which I'm the youngest in my generation, has gotten so old and our kids like like my generation, they pretty much kind of distance themselves. Um and so like they started having kids, but the kids don't always come back to like, the main auntie or whoever it is house or whatever the case may be. So um yeah, with that being said, it's like I miss having those dinners. Like it would be a whole weekend event. It wouldn't just be, "Oh, we're just gonna meet up on Sunday." No, it would be a whole event. So yeah, it definitely is I miss those. There's a lot of good memories for sure.
For sure, for sure. No, I see you, Nora. What's up, Nora? What's up, e-gamer? Um, in there as well. Hello, hello. I see you redeeming the ad time. I guess we have to play it. I'm sorry. Did it work? Yes, it did. There should be one there. Um, hello, 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 everyone. One quick question still. Welcome in. Good to see you. And then finally, you said your favorite gift you've ever received was a bracelet. So what's so special about that bracelet?
'Cause I wanted it. I'm not usually a very materialistic person. But I was very sick that year, that Christmas year. And yeah, I was like very, very sick. And then to see like one of the gifts that I got was an Hermes bracelet. And I love like two of my favorite like luxury brands would have to definitely be Chanel and Hermes. And just the thought of me getting an Hermes bracelet was just like, wow, like I could live my bougie life now. Like I could just casually just be like, I want to sit over there. You know what I mean? Like I was just like I'm loving it. So I don't know. I think it was just because it was so unexpected. It wasn't something that I vocally said, "Yeah, I want this." It was just it just happened, and I don't know. I really do appreciate it. I do appreciate the sentiment behind it because the person who got it for me, they know that it was something that I always wanted, but like, I never thought to attain it because Hermes is incredibly expensive. Um, Second to that would be my Chanel bag, but I never take it out because I'm just too obsessed with it right now. So I just kind of let it sit there. But yeah, definitely the Hermes bracelet. I don't
Hmm.
know. I just
Posh.
start filling my oats.
Feel-
Yes, I feel posh.
There it goes. Um, Fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, we got a bit of a hydrate here in a posture check, so we got to straighten up and drink some water here. Thanks to Nor. Nor's playing parent today. Good to see you, Nor. Thanks for joining in. I'm gonna die in this suit, so I'm gonna take this off my thing here because this thing is so hot. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. So we have some questions from the audience here. We got one from way earlier here that we're gonna go start with, and that comes from EE. And EE asks this often. So I don't want you to think overthink this too much. Just give what comes to your heart. What comes naturally. E asks, "What are your thoughts about Scotland?"
I remember, I remember them asking this on someone else's stream because I remember that question. I remember modding and I was like, "What are my thoughts about Scotland?" My thoughts are, I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more. I feel like I definitely am not educated on the history, on the culture, on the food, um, on the language. I'm not educated at all. So I would love to know more. That's my thoughts.
Okay, okay, fair enough. That's totally fair. That's awesome. We have another question here, from our new friend Shogun, and they
Mm,
ask, "Choose one: pineapples on pizza, harmless topping, or crime against food."
what? There's
Har-
three options?
no, no, there was two options: harmless topping or crime against food.
What's crime against food?
Is pineapples on pizza a harmless topping or a crime against food?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, harmless topping. I my First off, let me just say this. You can pick out the pineapples to be fair. That's number 1.
I agree with you,
Like
by the way.
it's literally a topping. Number 2, number 2, um as long as it's not unsanitary and it's healthy, like it's not like unhealthy, I have no shame on food. Like for instance, something that I really want to do is eat all types of animals at least once. I've had alligator, I love it. I've had snails, I love it. I really want to try frog. I really want to try like different animals' livers. I've had duck feet, thanks to Fluffy. It was good, minus the bones that was still in there, but other than that, like it was good. Um, what else did I have? Like I want to try there's this dish. I think it's Vietnamese. I could be very wrong, and I do apologize. But if I'm not mistaken, it is southeastern, south Southeast Asian. Sorry, I was like, wait, southeastern, Southeast Asian. And it is these coconut worms, and they are in this sauce. I think it's a little spicy, but it's in this, I think, sweet and spicy sauce. And you pick them up. They're alive. You pick them up. You usually have the chopsticks at their head. It has a little black little head, and their body's real nice and fat and juicy because I believe they've been fed grains or whatever that they eat. You pick it up by the head, and then you bite off the rest of the body, and then you chew that. That is the name of it, apparently. I am not familiar with the name, and I'm sorry, WTF Kapow, but like, yeah, that is what I want to try. I want to try different foods. I've tried cricket. I want to try everything. I want to try snake. Like, I literally want to try everything. I have such a love for food. Um, that I have no bias, and I don't, as long as it's not unhealthy, like I'm not gonna eat something that has dung in it or like doodle in it. I'm perfectly fine. Like if you clean your shrimps, I'm perfectly fine eating shrimp. Yes, you have to clean your shrimp because there's intestines and doodle that's stuck up in the shrimp, and people don't like to clean the back of it. You know, the back that goes like that, the larger. You have to clean that black line out. That's not just a vein; it's doodle. Take it out, okay? Take it out. But other than that, right? Like I'm down for everything. Any and everything. I'm down to eat. Like, yes, at least once. At least once.
But
So I don't have, yeah, I don't have like a huge like, oh, you can't have this is sacrilege. No, well, you just have your preference. Do I think it's harmless? I think it's harmless. Have I had it before? Yeah, I've had it before. Would I order it? No. If someone else ordered it, I'd eat it. I like food, but I'm not gonna order it myself. I don't think I've ever had a craving for pineapple on pizza. You know, like I don't like anchovies. I'm not gonna eat anchovies, but I'm not gonna be like, "Ugh, eat anchovies. Oh my god!" Like you should be, I don't know, sacrificed on the top of a mountain. I don't think so.
oh
No.
my goodness.
Very good
Uh,
question though. I love it.
right. And my favorite part is it's not doo doo, it's doo doo.
Duru.
Doo doo.
Dodo. Yes.
And speaking of doo doo, which brings us to our next question. And this is one that comes every single podcast. Posh, toilet paper, over or under?
Over.
Okay. Okay. All right.
It
Thank
was
goodness.
designed to be over.
It's true.
Just by the way.
However, this question has grown some legs over the 40-ish creators we've asked this to. Which brings me to the next one here, which is when we're wiping, are we scrunching or are we folding?
Holding.
Okay, we're 2 for 2 here, Posh. This is good. This is good. I don't know.
Not the judgment.
You're taking a risk on scrunching. I'm just saying, like if you live with risk, that's, I mean, sure, scrunch by all means. Have some
Let me
dookie
just
nails.
say, we don't end it on toilet paper.
Oh,
You look very confused.
no, yeah, I like. I was like, what do you mean end
We
it?
do not end it. We do not end it at just toilet paper. If you are at home, have a personal bidet. If you're not at home, make sure you have personal wipes. Don't just end it on toilet paper and they have like little bits of paper stuck between your pubes. Don't do that. Mm-mm. You make sure that you wipe. That's great. That's great that you wiped it. Now you wet wipe it. Either with a wet wipe, make sure you always have one with you in your back pocket, in your purse, always. And if not, if you're at home, get a personal bidet and wash it off. Wash it off for the love of God. The amount of bacteria that stays on after you just wipe. Come on, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Yes, always make because okay, think about this. Have you ever, and this is for you, Bren. And we're
Lovely.
gonna get real personal. We're gonna get real personal.
Oh, you can find out so much about someone about the way they wipe their ass. It's great.
Oh no, it's gonna get worse, right? When you finish peeing, right?
Okay.
You usually do a little shake.
I mean,
Right.
yeah. A little
Right?
bit
You just shake it off.
of.
Yeah, that's it, right? Not too hard because then you get a splatter everywhere. I get it.
Yeah,
You
no,
just have
I'm not trying to hit the roof.
usually 2 or 3 from what I heard. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, at that point, you're just playing with yourself. So.
right, exactly. More than that, and you're just exactly. Now, my question is, what do you do if your girl, after you peed like 30 minutes ago, wants to go suck your dick? Are you gonna stop her and be like, hold up, let me just wash it off real quick? Are you gonna let her just suck your dick with like little bits of piss hanging out? Like, you know, it's been festering in those boxers with God knows how many other pee drops because you know there's always an after drop, right? I know too much, Brad. I know too much.
No,
My
see,
question is-
this is what I'm thinking, Posh. Hey, Mom, you can click off now. Love you.
I'm so sorry, Mom, but this is a serious male hygiene question. I'm not asking for his own sexual, like, I'm not trying to exploit him and his sexual things, but this is a serious hygiene question that I do want to bring up to the rest of y'all who are men.
I mean, wipe your peepees. Yeah, it makes sense. Clean your peepees.
It's important because we taste it. You can taste it. Just like if you were to go down on a girl, you can taste it. So if you can taste it and you white, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
That
I
means
got
it's
you.
still
I got
there.
you. I got you. I hear you. No, you.
That means
Yeah.
it's still there. So that means that you need to either use a wet wipe or you get a personal bidet. You could even install one at your home. Just make sure that you have one of those dual connectors to the parts where the water goes to your toilet. And the other one could just be at the bidet. You could hold it out to the side and you just quickly just rinse yourself. You don't even need soap. Just rinse yourself, just rinse it all off, power wash it off, and that's it. It's very important.
Power
Good
wash.
hygiene.
What's
Yeah.
it? See, I have a story about why a bidet is now in my family called a badon't. But I'll explain that another time.
Wow.
But I'm all what wipes 100%. Go for it. I mean bidets too if they work for your toilet and stuff like that. Definitely, because that's didn't work for mine. But agreed. Final question. Didn't think we were gonna get that far on that. What's it called? Is when we're wiping, and I feel like I've already know my answer considering we're in the medical field here. Is when we're wiping front to back or back to front, Posh?
I'm appalled. I am appalled by the audacity to ask such a question. Front to back. Even if you're a man, taint to the crack. Front to back.
You hear to hear
Front to back.
you hear to hear, kids. I am dying. I don't think you want to die on anything in this conversation here. I just wide awake now and just wondering what we're watching. Don't even worry about it, Fatboy Thin. It's fine. It's at this point, just go to sleep. Go back to sleep.
Posh knows all.
It's
That is
Fluffy.
fact.
True. Facts. My goodness, that was too funny. That was a good. I like that a lot. I'm sure my mom was like, "Oh my god." What's it called? And I see Nora has put in a question here. Nora asks, "What does alligator taste like, and would you try it again?"
Oh, yes. It is fantastic. It is fantastic. It tastes like chicken, but more meatier, right?
Okay.
Like instead of like it doesn't it's not chewy. It just tastes more, it just tastes like a meatier chicken. The alligator I had was actually fried alligator. But yeah, it just tastes much meatier. Um it has a lot of flavor, a lot of juice in it, but you would think that it is very tough because it's such a reptile. In fact, it's not. It's not. It's not incredibly soft, but it definitely tastes like it just you could it tastes like chicken. Right?
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
best way I could describe
Okay.
it. It tastes like chicken.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
I mean, interesting. Alligator chicken. um. Well, that's the questions that we have from the chat here. And chat, if you have any more, if you feel free to throw it in there. You know how it works now. But I have some questions for you, Posh, before we go to the break here. And there's only a few here because obviously we want to get you on a break here because we got to get some two choose one lie going here soon. We also got a hydrate here from Skull Dandy from 5 minutes ago that I totally forgot to say. So let's drink up, Posh. Let's stay hydrated.
Okay.
Um, the question that I have for you is what made you want to begin streaming? What was the thing that made you click that go live one day and the Poshtriangle was born on Twitch?
There's actually two reasons. One, because I could do it. And two, my main reason still to this day for streaming is to build a community that is positive and that can make a difference. Particularly at least at this point in other streamers' lives. Until I get to the point where I can take this cross platform and do something more with it. But Literally because I could do so. I was like, well, I know how to stream. I know what needs to be done for streaming. I know all the things behind the scenes because I've been modding for months at that point. I was like, well, fuck it. Why not? Like I talk so damn much. I might as well I'm out here just chatting up with people and spamming in text. Like I might as well just verbally just express myself and then just hang out with everyone. But yeah, it wasn't more so for me or to see my own growth or like a personal achievement or a personal thing that I was like I wanted to like, put off my bucket list. It was just like, you know what? I could actually make a difference. I want to create a community. Yes, I mod for a lot of people who attempt to make such, said communities and like said um like groupings that are not hostile and very fair, very welcoming. I was like, well, I could fucking do that too. Like I'm already doing that as a mod. Like I could easily do that same thing as well. And I can drive the community to people who are undervalued, underappreciated, or maybe bring awareness to something that is not really well spoken of, which is what I'm actually going to be doing this Thursday for a charity stream. Like I never thought that I would be able to host or have something like that, and now this is definitely possible, and this is not I definitely don't want this to be the first and the last time that I do something like this. So yeah, really it was just because I could, and that I wanted to make something for other people. I wanted to create a space for people to feel comfortable, to feel, like they could just relax, laugh, whatever, just a safe space. And thankfully enough, I've created that. So it's an
Mm,
amazing feeling to just reflect on. But yeah, that's why.
awesome. Awesome. I agree. Couldn't agree more. I think you definitely have brought in some amazing people, especially to hear at least even as much that. But definitely in the times that I've been in your chat too has been amazing. Thank you everyone for the host, by the way, for B, from Fluffy. There's one more. I think it was Nor as well earlier. Thank you so much for the host. It means a lot. One thing that you can do in this stream, and I know especially around this time of year. Especially if you're friends with me and Posh here, money is tight, and we have birthdays around here, so I know you got to spend presents on us. So I know money's tight. So I will say, as far as that is, there's no need for you to spend money here. I don't want you to feel like you have to spend money here at any point here. However, one thing that does help us in a non-financial way is hosting the stream. It bumps up people on recommended. So I thank you so much for the hosts. If you don't feel like doing it, that's okay too. I appreciate you being here and your time here as well. It is more than enough for me. But if you want to go a little bit further, that a host means a lot to me, more than you would know. So thank you so much. Bald, I agree. Her space is just a great vibe. I agree. It's that crazy fun energy. Every stream with Posh, exactly. Um, Posh, what is the TLDR version of your life? What is from the start, little baby Posh, being born up until now, the Poshtriangle that we see on Connections, really? Thank you, Wolf, by the way, for the host.
Um, to keep it short. Hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can try to summarize this as best as I can.
Okay.
I was always a brilliantly talented, intelligent child. I was supposed to skip 3 grades. I only did two growing up. Um, I was in, I guess you could say sports, which was really dance. I was in music. I was in acting. I was in modeling. I was in competitions. I did a lot. I was pretty much the golden child of my entire family, and everyone doted on me and pushed a lot of things that they wouldn't on their own kids or anyone else onto me. I was the tester, I suppose. But despite all that, socially, there was something lacking. I didn't make friends. I was often bullied. There was also some cases of abuse growing up, things of that sort. As I got older, I had to basically mature myself. I was the source of my own maturity. Um, and it was tough, but I made it through. I made it through the tough humps and started to continue to find myself all throughout high school, college. Took a little bit of a break from school to focus on my personal life. Um, and then when I realized what I wanted to do, went to medical school. Um, some unexpected things came my way, and I made the choice to come back and to, instead of continuing on to medical school, to now go into physician assistant. I think that is the shortest way to describe, my story. I am experiencing quite a number of things. That was just purely out of my curiosity. Um, and I felt like I learned a lot that way. But I definitely had a bit of a platform, not necessarily financially, but it definitely a platform in just I guess in some knowledgeable aspects that were able to help define me and help me and guide me in essence through the struggles that I went through. So yeah.
Okay. Wow. So there's quite a bit of things in there. It sounds like. So I'm interested to talk a lot about these. However, we're gonna hit a little break here. When we come back, we're gonna do two choose one lie,
Mm.
and we're gonna we might I say might because we might chat's got to win this one. We might be giving away a $10 Amazon gift card if chat can get the proper cap out of you. So
Ooh.
all right, I
Yum
know
yum.
exactly. So don't go anywhere. Maybe go get some water though. Get some water and come back. But we're gonna take a quick little break. We're gonna do the two choose one lie, and then after the two choose one lie, we're also gonna get into some deeper questions. So don't go anywhere. You want to be a part of that, and because if we might be doing a giveaway, so don't go far. Don't go far. That's what I'm saying. However, enjoy these reels while we're on the break. There. We'll talk to you in just a moment. Give me a sec.
For this person. It was a very, very controlling environment, and I moved in with this person when I was 18. And that was where I actually realized what kind of situation I was in. I think the worst part about it was because I had isolated myself so much, there are people that I lost because I didn't go spend time with them when I could. I was only allowed to be around that person, and that's it. You know, I lost my grandmother, and I lost someone who was basically a father to me during that time. And I think that's actually one of the things that created a turning point for me was when I lost that person and the person that I was with told me that I just had to get over it. And I think mental abuse is something that's not talked about enough. I want people to know because I want people to be able to learn. If there is somebody in your life that is telling you how to dress and how to act and who to talk to and who to be around, that person is toxic and is not worth a moment of your time.
What is your biggest fear in life?
Regret. So I never want to put myself in a shoulda, woulda, coulda scenario. I want to know that I did my best in every scenario that I've ever been across. I want to know that if I thought I should be doing it, I did it. Even if I tried, who cares? I tried. If I failed, whatever, I tried. But I never want to regret not doing something. This is how I see it. You get born, there's that dash in the middle, and then you die. So it's all about, did you make your life worthwhile? Did you live to the fullest? Did you enjoy that moment? Because you got to remember, everything that you did, you don't take with you. Everything that you gained, you don't take with you. You got to understand that I got to enjoy what's here in the now. So, absolutely, my biggest fear in this world will always be regret.
You're watching Connections, a podcast about human connections, premiering every Tuesday on Twitch TV/Brengra. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
You live your life for you and you don't live it for anybody else. In reference at the time, it was about my dad and how I wanted to live my life. And you live your life for you. This is your life. You make it the way you want to. You're not here for a long time. You're here for a good time type thing. Do whatever makes you happy.
What life-changing event have you experienced?
So I was dating a girl and she just disappeared out of nowhere and she didn't really tell me why. Her parents showed up. Her mom gave me a letter. I was like, oh wait, where is she? It's just like she recently passed away. That was like a life-changing moment to me because like in the letter it says, I apologize for not letting you know what happened to me because I didn't want you to be in the same pain where I was going to. Because at the time, she didn't tell me, but she had cancer. I was like, wow, I didn't know what that meant. That explains why she was very distant to me towards the end of the relationship. And what the note says, I apologize if your outlook on life or love changed because of me. But if you find someone that you truly love, don't let go of them.
Who do you feel closest to?
Like my nan, so my dad's grandma. She passed away because of dementia. That hurt me a lot because I was really close with her. For my 13th birthday, I was having a party at my house and she called an ambulance on herself and she forgot my name. And that kicked me in the ass. And when I lost her, I couldn't stop crying. Even now, I hate crying. But she was an amazing person. Like, she would give me change to go and help with her shopping. She would tell me all these stories of the war in London and stuff when she got evacuated. Like, you could sit down and have a conversation with her for days on end. She was such a beautiful person.
What is a lesson in life that you had to find out the hard way?
One of my first kind of really serious online relationships. We spent a lot of time together, very condensed. Due to their home life, they had to take an abrupt exit from everything online. First it was maybe every other day, which was that's a little weird. And then it became 3 days, 4 days, a week at a time. And I just had to sit with that giant question mark. And I got basically a one message heads up after not hearing from them about why things could not continue. And it was just a lot of external forces that caused some issues. All their social media has vanished. They're gone. And I haven't heard from them since. And sometimes you cannot get closure. Sometimes you just have to move on without knowing the answer.
If you could ask a single person one question, and they had to answer truthfully, who would you ask and what would you ask? And they could be dead or alive.
I think I would ask my dad if he wanted to be around more.
I feel like I wanted him around, but I never knew how to ask. I always kind of wondered that. And clearly being almost 30, it still kind of eats at me. But I do think about that a lot. I always wonder if he wanted to be around more and he just maybe didn't know how to, or what was it there that happened? Because I think not only me, but I think my sisters needed him too. I think we needed him and he wasn't there, and I never understood why. And I don't even know. Maybe he would say, I don't know. And that's okay, but I think there would be some sort of answer that I could say, okay, I can accept this.
If you wrote a book about your life up to now, what would the final line say?
I think it would end with something along the lines of, and she was happy. I think the ultimate goal of life is to achieve happiness. I hope happiness for every single person. That is the ultimate goal. It just perfectly summarizes it. You just want to be happy in life. I don't have to be big and famous and be filthy rich. I just want to be happy. That's all I want. It's very simple, but I just want to be happy.
Welcome back. We back. What's up, everyone? How's it going? Hello to everyone. If you've joined us, welcome in. Good to see you. And those of you that stayed, thank you for staying and hanging out with us. Appreciate ya. Well. We are going to play the game that is called Two Choose One Lie. It's a fan favorite here by far. Marlene, welcome in. Hello. So We're playing two choose one lie. Maybe you're like, what is two choose one lie? Or maybe you're like, how do we play two choose one lie on this format here? Well, I'm going to tell you how. Direct your beautiful eyeballs to the stream here as I play the intro for two choose one lie. They're quite simple. They're pretty simple. There's 3 rules with two choose one lie. The first one is that the guest is going to provide 3 facts about them, or sorry, 3 statements about themselves. 2 are facts and 1 is a lie. Number 2 is the viewers are going to be able to guess the false statement by voting in a poll, and if the viewers are correct, one of the viewers will get a prize. You must be in the Discord to claim the prize, and subs will get 5 entries. And if I, Bren, choose the correct false statement, one of the viewers will be crowned a VIP of this channel today by the lovely Posh. So, chat, get your thinking caps on. Has someone found Pugs yet? Pugs is our what is it? Our community two choose one lie connoisseur, I guess would be the best way to put it. Pugs always seems to know the right answers, and if they pay off the guess for the answers, who knows? We'll never know. However, Posh, I'm going to give you the floor. And as I write down which are your 1, 2, and 3 so that I can remember them as well, will you please let us know?
You want me to? I have it written down already. You want me to send it to you?
No, it's okay. Just, I mean, you can just, nah, it's okay. Just say them out. It's all good.
Okay. So the first story I have is, some of these are stories, some of these are just mentioning something. Well, actually, no, there's only one of them was a story, actually.
Okay.
All right, so the first one is a story, which is when I was a kid. I did karate classes with my cousin in Florida. And although I could not do cartwheels, still to this day, I could not do cartwheels, which was one of the things that they were like, yeah, you got to do for karate. And I was like, well, F that. Like, just give me a colored belt. I can't do the cartwheels. There was a competitive little task that they had towards the end of one of the classes, and it was tug of war. A very simple game, right? Except I am competitive, if you couldn't tell already. So I beat my cousin, also is a boy, same age as me. I beat him. I beat this little kid. I remember his name was Superman because he had a Superman shirt. So I beat him as well, which everyone was cheering on him, and I'm like, it's a little rude. Like, hello, I'm here. So I literally beat every single person except this one kid. This kid, I don't remember what his name was. I don't even remember what he looks like. All I knew is at the time I had a crush on him. And my stomach, I was just like, ah. Like I could not just muster up the strength to beat him. And so then he, my arms turned into wet noodles and he won. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're the strongest kid in the class. You beat Courtney. That's crazy. That's crazy." And I'm like, my pride wants to be like, he only beat me because I like him. But of course, I can't say that because now I'm admitting it. So that's the first story.
Put love before duty.
The second one is that I actually have 3 surgeries that I had in my life. The first one's a frenulumectomy, which is that like the frenulum underneath my tongue, I actually had that cut because my tongue was actually really, really short and I was tongue tied. So I got that one snipped off when I was 16. And then shortly after, I ended up getting an appendectomy because my appendix ruptured when I was in high school. So during my I think end of junior year, that's when I was actually rushed to the hospital because I was like, oh my God, I have a crazy pain. Ironically, I was already in the car with my mom, and it's a funny story. Like I go to school in Jersey, but like every day I had to come back to New York. So it was when we were driving back to New York, back home. And so then we just happened to like already be driving. So it was perfect timing because then she was able to rush me to the hospital. So I guess I'm lucky for that instead of it being like I was sleeping or something, that would probably be worse. And then the third one was my knee corrective surgery, which is actually from an accident, a car accident, the one that you were so TOS afraid of. Um, that one I got from a car accident. I was driving to campus. I was driving to school, to my college. which is only like a 15-minute drive. And I drive the same road all the time, except this time in my Ultima, this guy came in and hit me, like T-boned me from the side, and he has this big truck, and he ended up pushing me onto oncoming traffic, and this other car ended up hitting me from the front. And so, like, I actually couldn't feel my legs for like a good like 10 minutes after that, and I really thought that like I was gonna be paralyzed. It was scary, and it ironically happened all in front of a church. So I had all these old ladies and all these old people coming out, like praying to God that like I'm okay. Like it was just theatrical AF. But I ended up getting surgery on my knee. I believe it's like the tendons that they end up having to repair. So that is the second story.
Okay.
The 3 surgeries. Now the last story is that I've never ridden a roller coaster, an adult roller coaster, nor have I ever been to an adult amusement park. I just wanted to clarify that, like, I've never been to an adult roller coaster. So that means that when I did used to go is when I was a kid, and I was like maybe 7, 8 years old. So of course I'm, limited. And I've never been to an adult amusement park because the only time that I went to one was Walt Disney. Wait, was Disney World. Yeah, sorry. Was Disney World in Florida. Other than that, I've never been to Hershey Park, never been to Six Flags, not even set my foot in there. So the only ones I've ever been to after that was just for kids because you would just take the kids over to like an amusement park and then they just like, I don't know, spin the teacup or whatever. So then that would be the third story.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, chat, we have 3 things. I'm going to sum them up pretty quick here. Number 1 is going to be karate cat. Was in karate classes and lost a tug of war to her crush. The second one is that there were 3 that she's had 3 surgeries. One being under the tongue, one being an appendix, and one being knee surgery. And number 3 is that you've never ridden an adult roller coaster or been to an adult theme park, which I don't know about. You said adult and you said Walt Disney World is not one, and I'm offended, but it's fine. I'll get over it. What's it called? Marlene, thank you for the thing there. Chat, I need you to vote in the poll right now. We got 1, 2, or 3. 1 being the karate crush. Number 2 being the 3 surgeries, and number 3 being that you've never ridden a roller coaster in your or adult theme park. 1, 2, or 3 up on the screen now. I need you to help me. And if you guys get it right, if the majority gets it right, someone's going to be leaving here with an Amazon gift card. You must be in the Discord to redeem that. So make sure you are in the Discord, ! Discord, to get in there. Make sure you're in there. But it's currently going on. See, this is the thing. No one's doubting the 3 surgeries. However, we know obviously about the 1. The 2 other ones, I don't know. I don't know enough about you to get those ones. However, I'm sure we'll hear. The karate crush though is an interesting one. That's definitely an interesting one. And then riding a roller coaster, I just feel like, come on, you live for the excitement. There's no way. And I mean, I think chat agrees with that a little bit for the most part. However, there's one, and I will say right now, number 1's in the lead. So chat, if you haven't voted, you need to get your vote in quick because we're about to end here and it's almost done. But a lot of people are saying that number 1, the karate crush, is a lie. You can put love before duty. Nuh-uh, that's what chat's saying. But we'll see if we're right in a moment here, chat. However, I see that there's the 3 surgeries has nothing. No one's thinking the 3 surgeries. Everyone believes you on that one. So maybe it's either a good sell, or maybe they know something that I don't. And number 3, about the never ridden a roller coaster in a theme park. Someone thinks that that's the cap. So you have ridden one. So I'm feeling the same way on that one. I feel number 3, but no one. Our queen is a badass and wouldn't let liking a boy stop her. Marlene, I like your thought process. She's the best liar of all times if it's surgeries. Keep in mind, she's in the medical field, so she knows about these things. There, Santa. That's what I'm saying. However, on Who Are You, she did very well on the Tell Us a Story. So it's very possible. Very possible.
I did.
So chat has decided. Chat has talked. Chat has chosen Number one, number one, the lie. So they're saying that duty is always before love. That duty. However, I don't know what I'm choosing here.
You said 3. You said roller coaster. Is that your
I
final
don't know.
answer?
I feel like you're trying to push me into that one though.
I'm just you said what you said. So I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
I hear
Or
you.
do you think it's something else? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3?
See, I don't know. 2 throws me off because there's a lot of information in 2. There's a lot of information in all of them, to be fair, except for number
Right.
3, which is confusing. But number 2 has the most information, I will say. I mean, number 1 did too, but I went with chat last time. It worked out well. But do I trust chat a second time?
Huh. Interesting.
You know what? We're gonna cover more bases today. We're gonna trust issues. I do. That's some facts. I hate this. I hate this.
Believe in yourself.
That's the issue. What's it called? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say. Stop doing this, Posh. You're getting in my head.
I'm just listening. I'm
gonna say number 2 is the cap, and this is why I'm gonna say it before I need to get the answer. This is why I'm gonna say number 2 is the cap. First off, no one guessed it. I think that's a throw off. Second thing, you showed us the knee surgery, but you didn't tell us anything else. Like, you've never told us any stories about the other 2. Like, I haven't heard any stories about the other 2. So I know about 1, but I'm wondering if you threw that in there to kind of be like, hey, like, you remember that time when I told you about that thing? Yeah, no, the other 2 are fucking bullshit though. Like, that's what I'm thinking. You big brain this. So we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But
I literally explained a story about every single thing. So that's what
I get it. But I'm just saying, I saw how you answered questions in the past. I know how you brain works. Alrighty, Posh. Is number 2, the 3 surgeries, the lie?
That is not the truth.
That's a lie.
That is not the truth. I did have a frenulomectomy and I did have the knee surgery. I did not have an appendectomy. I had my 4 molars removed. That was the 3rd surgery.
Yo, chat, I did this. This is the first time I've ever done this where I've done it on my own. Oh my god. I'm gonna lose my mind. Damn. Yo, I big brained the shit out of that. You tried to throw me through, but I was like, nah.
I am so surprised that Marlene did not get that right. She has seen me naked from every single inch of my body. So I'm surprised that like she had like you would see a scar. So I'm surprised that we're very close friends.
Yeah.
We met up in Cali and like we were in the hotel and like most of the time most of us sleep naked in bed. So that was really the reason why. Not like yeah.
Thank you, Santa. Thank you, Santa. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'll be here for the rest of the stream. I'm gonna run it for myself, even though you guys didn't win.
Here's the trick, because I don't think I'll be coming back to possibly lying again on his streams.
I mean,
the trick is in the details. So I give details over all my stories on purpose. Usually there's always one story that's a little bit less detailed because it's harder for people to fabricate a whole lie. Usually the entire story is fabricated. So that's why those are the shorter ones, which the roller coaster one, something that's just like it's just like what? It's harder to fabricate those things. So both in the game show and in this one, I change one small thing. The rest of it is true. But you just change one small thing and now it makes you believe everything else is true. So for the holiday one where the dinner with the family, it was never at my house. It's always at my cousin's house, but everything else that happens still happens. In this one, it was all the surgeries. I had 3 surgeries and Yeah, one of them was an emergency, but it wasn't the appendectomy. That's a common one, so you wouldn't question that. The other ones are like, but
I
the
would.
appendectomy. Yeah.
Speak for yourself, Posh. I am so surprised that you've never ridden in a roller coaster. That does surprise me a little bit. However, Posh, that means that someone is becoming a VIP today on this channel because I got it right. So, remember, Chad, how I said earlier, Big Brain Ben? That's what they call me. They don't call me that. But however, that means that we're giving away VIP. So, chat, I need you to go into the Bren coin and select the little hand that says "Pick me." If you'd like to be a VIP on this channel, Posh will be picking one, and unfortunately, Posh, you're gonna be removing someone as a VIP today as well. So, yeah, you got to kick someone out of the family. We have too many family members in here. So we have. What do you want to do first? Do you want to pick one or do you want to remove one?
Let's see.
Oh, pressure, Mike.
I'm doing my own little research.
Little research, okay. Oh, I see what's happening here. Okay, keep in mind, Alligator and Mama Lisa cannot be removed.
I know, sir.
Just make sure. Just make sure. It's my real family.
Okay, I am looking.
These are things. It's funny. These things I didn't even know. Big brain in this.
Yeah.
All right, Malty, sit down.
Very fair. We're gonna keep it very fair. Yes, I'm on the hunt. Ooh, we found someone new.
Sweet and Dirty was the last one. Was just added on the last stream as a VIP. Just
well,
to kind of.
that would. Well, you know what? Now that you said that, you saved them. You literally have saved them. But are they really saved? You know what? We're gonna kick them out. Sorry, not sorry. So.
Hang on, is that all of them? There's. Hang on. There's.
No, I'm not including B.
Oh,
wow,
wow, B, you've been saved easy.
He's an OG. Are you kidding me?
It's true. It's true. It's true. Oh, now you're going through the other ones. My goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to give you information on all of them?
No.
Okay.
And this is absolutely to no offense to anyone who is new. This is absolutely no offense. But if someone else happens to think the way that I think, I'm just taking this into consideration. God damn, Solum. God damn.
I will say, I swear Wolf's been in here long. Or sorry, not Wolf. Or Jay or Ordon. That's surprising. I feel like okay. It's been all right. It's only been 6 months. I know.
All right.
6 months until my life is highly improved. All right.
I'm only doing this so that there is no favoritism.
Oh, favoritism is part of the game. I don't know why.
Oh, no. It's only part for me. It's only part of the game show as far as who I want to bring on at the end, at the final round. But for me, in this sense, I think VIPs are.
Wait a second. Hang on. Donovan just said 1 month in a week. That is definitely not true. So his followage might be wrong for some of these, because Donovan has been here for about 9 months. So
did you unfollow and follow back at some point?
Oh, he might have. I think there was I think there was a time where I bugged him and he made a joke about unfollowing. So yeah, that's definitely it. But he has been here for 9 months. So okay, interesting.
Then you messed up. You messed up. Okay. So but yeah, so I will take away. Hi, Mr. Ken.
Hello, Ken.
I will take away from the new Sweet and Dirty.
Okay.
Most apologies to them. If you happen to see this, I do apologize. Nothing against you. Maybe one day you'll get your VIP back again. And I will be giving it to Wolf. Wolf is an OG, and we will reward Wolf for their dedication and coming back into chat. But I want to just say something. Every single person who did pick me, I shit you not, I like y'all. Like, I've been watching chat, and even in previous on previous streams, I do like y'all. So I don't want you to think that like, oh, she doesn't know me enough, or oh, of course. No. I'm just strictly being as fair as possible. I do enjoy the conversations that we had. Um, so I do apologize, but yes, I will be giving it to Wolf from Sweet and Dirty.
Okay. Well, hey, that works. That works. That is part of the game. Justice for Wolf worked exactly. What up, Josh? How's it going? Good to see you. Welcome in. The question of the day, by the way, is how much sleep did you get last night? I'd love to know. My queen is a fair and just ruler.
Yes, and I
Tips
did
crown.
take love at first. Okay, I apologize that I've let y'all down. I'm a changed woman, but I was a weakling. I was a weakling, and I have scorned the old me. So yes.
As well have scorned the Donovan. The Sweet and Dirty, unfortunately, has been removed from our house.
Sweet
XX
and Dirty.
Gossip
XX.
Girl. What's it called? Ken, 2 hours? My goodness. This, I don't know. It's partying all night
watch
long here,
time?
Ken.
Oh, the
No,
sleep,
no, no.
okay.
Sleep. Josh, 3 hours. My goodness, did I get the most sleep in chat tonight? Oh, I thought I didn't sleep much. I'd be in the streets. Oh, I thought you'd be in the sheets there, Ken.
I had 3.5 hours. Wait, no. Yeah, like 3.5. Yeah, by the way. Just so I answer the question as well.
Okay. Wait, sorry, how many hours you say? You said
3 to 3.5.
oh my goodness, what is 17
I had a
hours?
Final exam. I had a final exam.
That's
this
right, you
morning,
did.
My last one.
That's fair. That's
Mhm.
fair. Oh, Ken. That's my co-host. My goodness, you only sleep 1 hour? My goodness. Working for Jesus. Yeah, exact, right? That's what I'm saying, Wolf. The second most watch clip on this channel is from that is labeled that exactly. That's funny. Oh, too good. So chat, unfortunately there's no giveaway today, but if you'd like to hang out, we might be doing some crosswords after this stream as well. So if you'd like to hang out with us, get in the Discord, !Discord. We'd love to hang out with you. We do crosswords usually after every stream. Sometimes giveaways. Unfortunately, not today. You gotta be big brain like me sometimes, chat. However, that was definitely an interesting one. I'll give you that, Posh. Hat tip to you there for those ones, Posh.
Thank you.
Continuing on though, this is the part of the show where we get into the deep questions. We've gone everywhere from talking about how to wash your pee-pees to favorite words and being a little posh, if you will. We've talked about you putting love before duty, not that kind of duty. And many other things along that as well. But now this is a time when we get in to the nitty gritty, the deep dive details of the stream, and then the real part, which makes connections special in my opinion. So Posh, you told us a couple things in your TLDR that you said, and there's a couple things that stuck out to me. That in there, you talked about obviously in being in dance when you're growing up. You talked about feeling kind of like lacking socially and not kind of maybe, I don't know if, correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of like understanding the norms as you were younger a little bit.
No, I didn't have any friends.
Okay. Not you, Google. Go away. You talked a little bit, unfortunately, about abuse. You talked about coming up in high school and college. And you talked about some unexpected things that came up to force you to move back home. So I kind of want to I want to go into it a little bit more and kind of see as far as you want to go into kind of those things as well, and deep dive a little more into your TLDR version. Let's start from the kind of the beginning here. So you said you really struggle with making friends, and so obviously, I mean, look at all these amazing people. You know what I mean? Like, and so I don't think that's a problem anymore for you. But can you tell me kind of what that was like and kind of what you did to kind of, if you will, work around it, I guess?
So to specify, when I say I didn't have friends, it was pretty much like elementary and kindergarten. So I never made friends with anyone. I had people that I did try to talk to were my classmates, and I would in essence bribe their allegiance, so to speak, with me. I'd buy them ice cream when it's like lunchtime, things like that. And sorry, give me a second. Let me just close off some of these tabs. I feel like it's messing with the connection a bit. There we go. But yeah, I would definitely either do something like that or buy them snacks, because they're kids, I like snacks, they like snacks. We'd have snacks together, but as soon as snack time is over, they're dipping, like they're out, right? Um, or they would come to me to like help them do their homework, or not really help, but literally do their homework because I was so smart that I did my homework as soon as the teacher handed it to me. If they said, "Here's a worksheet, I want you to work at this at home," while she's talking and explaining the worksheet, I've already completed the entire worksheet, or the entire assignment. So I never did homework at home. I was never invited out to anyone's birthday party. I was never invited out to hang out with anyone. After school, no one hung out with me or anything. Like there was no association at all. Even when I was in all these other extracurricular activities, they never like approached me or hung out with me. It could have been that it could have been contributed to the fact that I am an introvert. I still am an introvert. And I'm very quiet. But when I feel comfortable. I'm very like spunky, which is the other word which I loved. I'm very active, I'm very energetic, I am very goofy, I'm very quirky and weird. So that side comes out of me, but a lot of times people would not like that side of me. I was always told to tone it down. I'm too loud. Why are you making random monkey noises? Like things like that. And it's like, okay, okay, so I can't be myself once I even feel comfortable around people. Middle school, I started finding out some friends that I was able to, I believe I had like anywhere between 2 to 5 people, more so two were the best friends, and then the other three were like on and off friends that I hang out with. And I started spending time with them, and they accepted me for who I was. I was starting to learn more about alternative music, K-pop, anime, things like that. And that was just very interesting to kind of learn more about things that like were interests that I wasn't aware of. The internet was becoming popular, YouTube was popping off 2006, 2005. So it was just a very interesting experience to kind of grow into that. And I started to gain confidence because I found people who didn't look at me like as if I should belong in a mental institution because I'm doing goofy things. Um, just to give an example, I remember on my first week of seventh grade, there was like in the first day or two, pretty much everyone just started to know each other and they started already developing cliques. And I obviously did not, like, I kind of didn't really have my clique either. I just was like pretty much a lone wolf, which I was normal, which was normalized, I'd say. And then there was this girl who came in a little bit late, so I guess she finished applying late or whatever. It was an all girls school, by the way. She came in, she was quiet. I ended up starting to, converse with her, and like she was quirky as well. So when she became really comfortable with me, which is one of the amazing traits that I have, or gifts, is I make people very comfortable with me really quickly. Um, so she became very comfortable, and me and her, we both had such a loud and just exaggerated laugh. I mean, it was full of life and just happiness, but it was very like you could hear us 2 buildings over. That's how like it's like, oh, that's them. And she was a bit prettier than me. So the pretty girls wanted to have her in the clique. And they were like, stop making her weird. Like you're rubbing your weirdness off on her and it's affecting her. And I'm like, she's being herself. What do you mean I'm rubbing, like I'm a disease and I'm just like spreading it on people? Eventually me and her started drifting off because of peer pressure. And so she ended up going with the pretty girls and changing a bit of who she was. So that would just be an example of like how, I had difficulty not only finding friends but also maintaining friends. Because I felt like I just probably just I think I just didn't care enough to fall under social norms. I think since a young age I was just like, yeah, fuck that. I don't want to be normal. Like I already know I'm not normal since growing up. So why force myself to be normal now? Um and then let me see. Yeah, and then everything else kind of follows suit. High school was pretty much the same thing as well. Outcast as well. And just I realized I just had to be there more for myself, and I just had to develop more self-confidence, in loving who I am and every bit of who I am. And I basically became an extroverted introvert. So I had to force myself to be extroverted to obviously I have to deal with work. I deal with patients all the time. I'd be like, "Hey, welcome on in. How can I help you out today? Oh, how are you, Mrs. Johnson? How was your leg today?" I have to. I have to. You almost have to, especially in the service industry. You have to speak out. So I became an extroverted introvert, and this helped me in different social situations as an adult. But I'm still very much so an introvert. I have a very short social meter. I don't know if you remember from the Who Are You game show, but after it ended, I just was like, I was just so cold. And it's because I have a meter where I could only be extroverted and sociable for so much, and then my energy just drains out, and I'm just become the introverted, quiet Courtney all over again. So as far as the whole social aspect growing up, that's how it developed, so to speak.
Hmm. I mean, first off, who wants to be normal? That's boring nowadays. You know what I mean? Like,
It is.
it is boring. And I think as someone who grew up with ADHD can definitely relate to that. Is there was always like people that were like, well, Bren's just on one. He can't sit still forever, and I mean, still can, but um, it's like who wants to be normal? As I saw Moons put, is keeping your unique light will draw the right people to you, and that's probably the best way I could have even put it, if not better. It's there's the right people come, but you got to be yourself. And I think, especially as kids in like a younger age, is it so easy to change because you want to conform to the norm and what is like popular for some people. Not saying everyone, but I'm saying that some people want to be that popular clique or something like that. Me personally wasn't really my thing, but I also had to get very comfortable with that I was not going to have many friends if I wanted to be that kind of goofy and outlandish person, because no one wanted to kind of associate with the weird kid. And so I mean, whatever, like I was comfortable with that. I got to, it's crazy that I ended up getting kind of into content creation at a young age, and learned a lot about editing, because hey, it takes a lot of fucking time, editing. And that's what I got to do, is I got to master that kind of craft, and that was kind of cool. And so but no, I can definitely agree with you on the fact of the social battery. I mean, as much as you and I are both talkers, there needs to be a downtime. Like it's not 100% all the single time, every single time. You might see that on here and think that, oh yeah, totally. But I mean, speaking for myself, and I don't know if Posh will agree with this or not, but we have to come up with some sort of personality, or no one's gonna be here. You know what I mean? Like there has to be this kind of socialness. And I mean, I adore this social kind of connections that they're coming from here, but it is not something that I am it's not something that is like super easy for me. There's been a couple days, especially at the beginning of doing this, that I was like, I felt totally like, ugh. But I was like, you know what? I want to go meet a new friend, and that's gonna take a little bit, maybe take a little bit out of me. But now I can say I've met so many amazing people through this, and it's been so worth it. Just putting myself a little bit out of my comfort zone. And hey, like you said, after I can sleep after this show. You know what I mean? Like if I really needed to, like I'll be okay. But it does drain the social battery a little bit. I understand where you're coming from on that for sure. It's something that I can highly relate with, in that sense. You talked about on your TLDR a little bit about abuse. So I was wondering if you'd wanting to kind of express anything a little bit more in there. You do as much as you want. It's totally up to you. I was wondering if you'd be willing to share.
Yeah. So, as far as that, I feel like there was some emotional abuse as an adult, especially as I got to learn and to understand people. I have a very submissive personality. So I am always willing to please other people. And I think that was just because of how I was when I was younger, trying to make friends, trying to make connections. I
Drink.
always was and I always ended up trying my best to be there for other people and their happiness, and seeing that I can make that difference in their life was it ended up becoming my own source of happiness as well. And so, like, with that being said, I had definitely ran into some people who took advantage of that, or who are unable to reflect on who they are and understand the implications and the consequences of their words and their actions. And, I ended up having like a very difficult time growing out of that and recognizing what's okay and what's not okay. So if someone is insecure within themselves, or if they are manipulative or, emotionally abusive, um I would always, my subservient side would always say, okay, well, it's my job to now fix something, or I have to, you know, change something, or um just try to fix it. But that's not always for me to do, because that's something that was their problem and that they are the cause of it. And I always thought that I was to blame for it. I was always told that I was to blame for said things. Um Besides that, I have been sexually abused and assaulted and harassed numerous amount of times. More times than I can count, to be sure. Like, more times than I can count. Just at some point, it was almost on a daily basis. Especially living in New York City, I think the first time that I got catcalled was maybe when I was 11. Um, like, it's super young. I've had family gatherings, and usually there's always, like, family friends and friends of friends, and adults would always be like, "Oh, hey," like, for instance, I think the more prevalent culture in my ethnic background would be that I'm Haitian. And so we are, I wouldn't say a subsidiary, but we do have a lot of our culture is taken from France. So one of the things is that if we come into a party, if we come into a gathering, whatever it is, we have to kiss each person on the cheek. And that starts to blur a lot of lines. When you're dealing with adult men who are just drinking, and they look at you and you're cute and soft and adorable, and sometimes their thoughts are a little sideways. Sometimes they grab a little too close for comfort, for comfort. um or they ask me to sit on their lap, things like that. That's just, it's, the lines are so blurred. But in it's one of those fallacies in that sense of culture. um which is unfortunate. Or they'd move their mouth a little bit so that they get like the corner of my lip or something like that. But unfortunately in that culture, I have to, out of respect, go up and kiss every single person, man or woman, and kiss them before I could even join the rest of the other kids who are locked up in some room, just just being forced to be friends, and then, make time for themselves. Um to just, like, I don't know, make the best out of the time that they're there at the party. But other than that, like, I've been followed. Like, when I was younger, and I was especially like middle school or high school, I had men follow me even in a car while I'm walking home. Um, I've had, like, men grab up on me, or just try to, like, force their way to, like, being in New York City, I had to build that tough skin, and I had to be resilient in the sense of, like, no, and, like, be willing to fight men back. I think it's not normal, but it's something that I had to do. And even as an adult, like, it's sometimes you're just pushed into situations where you literally can't do anything. But thankfully, in light of those situations, I actually ended up mentoring a lot of younger women, not only teaching them how to self-defense verbally, but also physically, as well as emotionally. And I help them grow to be a stronger individual woman who knows their worth and knows their limits. Especially when you're being peer pressured and you want to, something that Beyonce in a song she quoted, I believe she had like a poet like verbally say something in one of her songs. And it was just that women are born and raised and bred to please and get the attention of other men. And then we also have to be in competition to other women for said men. And so, I mean, I'm assuming that you are in a heterosexual, like, orientation, but it's like when you think about it in that sense, then the social peer pressure that's built and ingrained after so many years that like when some guy is talking to us in a way that makes us uncomfortable because it's geared sexually, then we're just like, well, I don't like it, but I guess this is what is supposed to happen. And then you allow yourself to be in said situations. So thankfully, I was able to experience enough to be able to know all sorts of situations, so I can heed caution to a lot of younger women, so that they could avoid going through what I went through.
For sure. Wow, I'm so sorry you've had to go through all that too. Like it's things that are you shouldn't have to go through. You know what I mean? And have to like toughen up because of the situation. Like that's not something you should have to do.
Right.
And I really feel for you because I mean, as like you said, like as a white cis male, it's not something that I've had to endure. It's something that's very different to me. Obviously, I've heard it from the females in my family, my girlfriend, my mom, my sister. Like it's things that I'm definitely aware happens. But I think it also adds an aspect of where in the world you also are too. As you said, is I think there's a different of, I guess, culture in a sense, if you will. I don't know if that's the best word for it, of how you of how maybe I think there's here's a better way for it. I think there's probably more people on the streets of New York than there is in Vancouver. Let's put it that way. And which leads to more things unfortunately happening. I'm sure that and I know the same things happen here because, like I said, the people that are in my family have had the similar situations, and it's sickening, really. And so I as far as like followed and catcalled, it just makes me sick because I what I think of is I think of my girlfriend, I think of my mom, I think of my sister, who I'm sure has felt in at least one time or not that it felt in a similar situation where they didn't feel comfortable, and it makes me sick because no one should ever have to feel like that. You're not a piece of meat. You're a human being with feelings and things like that, and it's disgusting to me, really. And then the other side of it too was the background, like the kissing on the cheek sort of thing. And obviously, it's interesting because this is never something that's come up on Connections before. It's kind of something like that, but I'm sure it's something that I'm sure people have felt before. That the uncomfortability of having family that's just touching a little too much, or in certain senses where you're like, I don't want to like, even something as simple as I don't want to give you a hug. Like that's my space. Like that you are coming to my space. That is my space. That is my own. That's not anyone else's but mine. I get to choose who comes in there. But when you're also doing things as like a family traditionary thing, you don't want to be like, oh no, like I don't want to do this because of blank, when you have the total right to. It puts yourself in a weird situation of where you don't want to offend someone, but you also want to not your own space be offended, really. And no, I can definitely understand how that would be difficult. And my family is big on hugs. Like that's our thing. Like it's not like that kind of the Haitian kind of kiss on the cheek sort of thing, but I know of a lot of cultures that are like that. So I've never had to personally endure something like that, but it's something that's definitely come up as things like there's times when I'm kind of like, I don't really want a hug from said person sort of thing. Like, and that's weird because obviously like for me personally, I'll do it because for me, I more think of, okay, I don't want to start a whole thing about this, but I also want to, there's also parts of me that it's definitely uncomfortable. So I can definitely see how that's even amplified. As you said, like things like drinking are involved. And like they're also doing other things. And it's definitely an interesting thing. It's a topic that's never came out, but it's definitely a topic that's very real. And I'm sure a lot of people feel, and it's something that it's there. And sorry, Donovan, you said my family used to make my cousins and I walk up and kiss everyone on the cheek when we were kids too. But now we just have the kids hug or give handshakes. I think like that's the thing is I think, and our family is kind of too, and I, in a sense too, is not that we were ever like that, the kiss on the cheeks sort of thing, but was the handshakes. Like I think the handshakes has become kind of common in our family too. Tap it up and keep moving. Like that's the thing. Like don't kiss me. Exactly, Ken. That's what I'm fucking saying, bro. Like 100%. Like I think that should be common thing is like his families, and I think it really starts from our generation, Posh. Like is us kind of this next generation is we're not grabbing the kids and you know what I mean? Like it's just like, hey, no fucking no. like give him like a good old like tap tap or like something like that. Like what do you want, sort of thing, like, and kind of giving that consent to them in a sense. And because I mean, like Jay, I see we say like hugs, but not everyone wants hugs. You know what I mean? Like I understand. I mean, I think a good portion will say that, but I think then there's certain places people that would also disagree and say no. Like, you know what I mean? I'd rather just people just like, you know, just like Ken said, just dab me up and keep it moving. And I think that's like a good thing to kind of do, especially with children who, I mean, you look back at it and it comes out as trauma more than you even knew. And before you know it, you're sitting in with a counselor and you're like, oh my goodness, this is something that's actually affected my life, which is something that you're so simple because you just didn't want to annoy or in your mind annoy a family member when it's something that's really deeply affected you. So no, it's definitely an interesting conversation piece you brought up there, Posh, and I appreciate you for sharing it because it's something that isn't always easy for most people to share about. So thank you. I really do appreciate that. It's not easy being vulnerable on a stream that you've, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I mean, you've been on before, but not like this and this open and stuff like that. So I thank you for that. We're gonna change up the topic a little bit here. We're gonna move it on to something different here. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Advice that I've received. I don't think there's anything that anyone has actually told me that I said, oh, damn. I think, you know what? No, I think about it. There was someone in my life. She was a family member. She was married into the family. And then she thankfully got divorced from said person. And she had a huge impact in the, I would say, like exponential development of my transition from childhood to adulthood. Um, she shared just similarly to what I do for other people. She shared a lot of her experiences. Most of them were not pleasant. Um, but the way that she spoke and the way that she opened up about so many things, I think she saw something similarly in me. And she definitely put me under her wing and guided me to a more healthier uh, mental lifestyle or psychological lifestyle. Um, I can't necessarily pinpoint a single piece of advice that she has told me, but to sum it up, I would say, hmm, give me a second to like get the phrasing right. I think the best piece of advice that I've heard that I felt like if she had the right phrasing for, that I'm pretty sure she would resonate with as well, would be that you are doing the best that you can with the information and the resources that you're given at the time of your life. I feel like a lot of people feel like they regret doing so many things. If only I could go back in time. If only I knew. Well, you didn't, and that's okay. To focus back on the history in the past, and to stay in such a regressive mind state is not always healthy or conducive to be able to grow, in a positive direction. So definitely, I think when I think back about just my past and the things that I've been through and things that I've dealt with, or at least information that I usually give to people, it's usually that you do the best that you can with what you had. At least now you're able to reflect on it and grow to be a better person, someone that wouldn't make those I wouldn't say mistakes. I feel like that's too negative. Like that's negative reinforcement, but someone who wouldn't make those decisions and you would choose to go to a different route. And at least now that you have that experience and that knowledge to be able to do so. And if you can't do it for yourself, then you can be able to aid other people in a more positive direction. So I think that has to be one of my favorite um, pieces of advice.
Sure. I mean, that's definitely
Yeah.
something it's a good piece of advice. Is kind of is like, and I think it relates to something that I've even heard in my life, which was And I remember I was like beating myself up for something, and I can't remember how it exactly was. Um, and I think, and I'm not going to say who it was, unfortunately, just because of personal things. But it was someone that was closer to me, now is not, and they made a comment. And they basically was like, and this is probably one of the few good stories I have of this person, which is just to put that into context, and that's why I'm not saying names. Um, is I was beating myself up over something's probably silly, and they looked at me and they said, "Are you doing the best you can?" I was like, well, "Yeah, of course." Like, what do you mean? Of course I am. They're like, "Then just keep doing that. Like, you got that." And I mean, maybe it means more because that is the one good story I have about them. But like, it's something that has stuck with me a little bit. And if you're just doing the best you can and you're really trying, then hey, what else can you ask from yourself, really? Like, if you're doing the best you can. And I think a lot of us don't give ourselves credit for the what we actually do, because I think a lot of us do a lot. Um, more than we give ourselves credit for. For instance, for you, Posh, is you going to med school. I could not fathom even that much. And then on top of that, you're doing streaming, you're continuing friendships outside of all these. You mean, like, there's all these things like that, and that in itself is impressive. And I think just being able to kind of balance all those is very impressive. And I tip my hat to you, because I think that's very impressive. And I hope you are able to kind of look back, and especially after you did your final exam today, is be able to remind yourself that how good you have done, regardless of the result of what that it comes to, is that you really did put in a lot of effort, and you did your best you could do. And I think that that shows something, that shows the oomph of you, and the kind of the person you are, that you do put in a lot of work into everything you do. And I mean, like you said to me, one of our first conversations, you mod for 18 people, which everyone I've told that to is like, what? That is insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it is, like, I think it's something that you're so passionate about certain things. And it's something I definitely do admire about you, is how passionate you are about certain things. And so um you're doing great, Posh, and I hope you give yourself that credit too.
Thank
Sure.
you. I
For sure.
appreciate that. And I think you're doing an amazing job as well. You and your team, absolutely flawless.
Thank you. Thank you. It's more the team than me. I can't I can't take most of the credit for that. They keep me together for the most part. For sure. As we call Donovan the babysitter. So um the what is a life-changing event that you have experienced? What is something that made you go, "Oh, that's changed my outlook on things in some form or fashion, positive, negative, you choose." But what is a life-changing event that you've experienced?
Huh. Life-changing events. Life-changing event. Ah, got it. I got it. My cousin dying. Yes.
Okay.
That was a life-changing event. She was, just to give a quick background story. Of course, I love her, and I think she's absolutely amazing. She's one of those people who could talk to virtually anyone. She was very intelligent, not necessarily always 1,000% book smart, but like very much so street smart. Like, she can navigate her way through essentially almost anything. She was very talented as well. She was an amazing cook, and she was working towards her own like a cooking business. I think it was a restaurant, like in a cart thing type of thing to go, because obviously a brick and mortar is incredibly expensive. And but unfortunately she had a lot of health problems due to her father's side of the family. Most of the siblings end up having a lot of health problems because of their mutual father. Um so when I graduated high school that summer, she was saying, "Okay, like, you're gonna come back to New York City. You're gonna be in a better place." Because I was very unhappy with where I was in in New Jersey. And, we talked about so many plans. She was like, "Oh, I want to teach you all my recipes this summer." And I was like, "Yes, I get to finally learn how to roll sushi." And she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go out. Like, I finally have someone that I could like really go out and like try new things with." And I'm like, "Yeah, and I'll take pictures of all your stuff and help you with social media." Like, we were kikiing it up. We were ready to do all these things. And one day she goes in, I think she goes to the doctor. I think she went for surgery again for her heart or something like that. Surgery goes well. Everything's fine. She's just recovering and she's there in the hospital, and then she was going to be released soon in a couple of days. And as family, we just had visited her and she's like, "All right, yeah, everything's good." Then she quote unquote collapsed. I think it's bullshit. But anyways, she just quote unquote collapsed and she passes away. It took a lot of the family um like it shocked everyone. And then it just made me reflect and realize that this life that I thought that I wanted to live, all these plans I had, all these things I had in advance, I may not be alive to even see them come into fruition. Um, and that made me realize uh, that life does have a constant, which is death, and that is always nearby. Even if it's 2 minutes nearby, 2 decades nearby, it's still going to be there. You can't cheat it. You can't push it back. You can't do anything. It will be there. And we never know when. Um, and so I live my life. It sounds very weird. It sounds very morbid this way, but I live my life towards my death. And my first tattoo, which I got like the year after that, that's be 18. My first tattoo I got actually is a reminder of that. Um, and it just makes me remember that no matter what interactions I have with people, it's all arbitrary. It to me the most important thing is it allowed me to be more focused towards my goal. Instead of me like lollygagging and things like that, it allowed me to be more focused and more serious about the life that I'm living. Because my time, I can't borrow it. I can't go back. There's no redo. So I think that was definitely the most life-changing event in my life.
Kidding. My goodness. I'm sorry for your loss, by the way, your cousin. And
Okay.
um,
Thank
she seemed amazing from what you told me.
you.
What's it called? And I can see a lot that you've kind of almost lived on her legacy a little bit with how you kind of do things, especially with like the trying the different foods and things like that. And it sounds like she was a bit of a foodie, like you would
Yeah.
like trying different things and wants to challenge her tongue essentially on new things. And I can definitely see you kind of living through that. So definitely a good nod to her for sure. And you're right, like it's the one thing that is unfortunately inevitable is death, and it's the most terrifying thing to me, and it's scary for me, and I do not like it. It's the unknown. It's what essentially triggers my anxiety, really, is that unknown of what's next. And I mean, I think it's pretty terrifying to me in a sense, because I have like you, I have things that I would plan to do, I'd like to do, and those things in my mind take a certain amount of time, certain amount of money, certain amount of this and that. And I've realized, and I really realized this starting this whole thing, is that if I didn't start this now, I'd be upset with myself and regretted myself that I didn't do content creation or something that I truly love sooner. And I mean, I kick myself for it a little bit now that I didn't start this a little sooner, but I think I started at the perfect time where I was the perfect age, where I was mature enough to be able to understand this and be able to handle mature conversations like this one, and be able to respond to them in a proper manner rather than just kind of being like, ho ho, LOL, like, you know what I mean? Like, or something like it's, I think it's something that I could.
Full story, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right, exactly. Or it's not that deep. Like stupid things like that. Exactly. And so I think I'm at the age where I can actually help people, and that's something that I'm I'm very passionate about is being able to, I mean, of course, make a friend. Like that's literally the reason I started this. And
You're doing great, Bren.
thanks, so Gray. Is literally starting this in March of this year was to make a new friend. But I think in terms of this is I've also been able to provide a place where people can feel comfortable, and that means more to me than most things at this point. Is the fact that someone can come on here and tell stories and not feel like they're going to be judged in any sense or form, is amazing to me. And that's exactly what I wanted when I started Connections, is a safe space. I wanted this place to feel like my home, and my home to me has always been safe and comforting, and there's never been a time where in my own home I felt unsafe. And I know that I'm very fortunate to say that, because I know a lot of people cannot say the same thing. And I owe that to Mama Lisa for a lot of that. Is she made a lot of that possible. And I owe it also to my girlfriend, my current girlfriend who I live with, for making this house the same way, and upholding those same standards as my mom held in her own house. And that's what I wanted to kind of do and bring on for people who are watching this, is to make it comfortable to the point where they felt like they could come in here and be themselves and not feel like they have to be judged by anyone, and share a story, because everyone's got one. And that's been the coolest thing to me about all of this. And so I mean, I regret not doing it sooner, at risk. I'm happy I started when I did. And I would have been more upset had I not started, and maybe started this now or a couple months down the line, and realize it. I think it's all about time and place, really. A good example of this is you and I meeting. Had I not rated Andy that one night, and for some reason I chose this random person, and then I ended up meeting you through Andy, and I'm so fortunate for that. And I've made so many other amazing friends through that journey of meeting Andy and you and Earl and so many other people, Eileen, and like those people that I've met, Ray. There's been so many people that I've met through this, and I'm so fortunate for that, because it's something that I'm so passionate about, and I'm so grateful for. So yeah, it's been quite the journey,
Wonderful.
right?
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. Toombs has a question for you.
Mm.
If there was one change in your life you could make, what? Oh, if there's one change in your life you could make, would you, and what would it be? That's a great question, Toombs. Thanks for stopping in. Good to see you.
One change in my life, would you, and what would it be? Um, hmm. I think I definitely would, but the change, I think there's way too many influences growing up through like the social circles I was in, through the time that I grew up in. I think there's way too many influences that even if I were to change one thing, um, it wouldn't make too much of a difference. If I had the knowledge that I had now back then, ooh, child, it'll be over. I'd be a billionaire by now, to be frank, if I did. But since I don't, now I'm really thinking about it. What would be one change in my life? Wait, I don't know if this can count, if this works, but if there's one thing that I could do and change, is stop my mom from taking a second mortgage out of the house. I think that snowballed a lot of things after that. If I could forewarn her at this very young, feeble age, hey, don't go with that contractor. You know what I mean? Or like, don't trust him. He's a snake. Like if I could do that, right? Because he rebuilt his house and made it bigger, bigger, bigger. But he did a terrible job. So she had to take a second mortgage out to basically pay someone else to fix the problems that he made. if I could tell her to either don't do it or to not trust that person, somehow, some way, if I could do that, that would be the only thing I'd change. Because my mom, her happiness, her everything is my everything. And I know that stressed her the fuck out, man. And if I could just strip that shit off of her, fuck, man. That would be the only thing. Fuck the rest of me. I mean, I ended up doing well for myself one way or another. But if I could do anything, it would definitely be for her. And it would be to just tell her, don't fucking do it. Somehow. Write it out in crayon. I don't know. Say Santa said so. But just tell her, don't fucking do it. I'm pretty sure we'll be 20 million times in a better place as far as like mental place, because I know that she's still stressed about it till this day. That's a serious, people pay mortgages for years and years and years. So I know that she's definitely still stressed out, and she wants to retire. I wish I could help her retire, but I'm still in school. It's a big stressor definitely in our lives. And yeah, if I could do that, it would be that. Because my first actual life goal, um was because of that. It was to strip my mother of any debt that she may have, or like, like to pay off the rest of the mortgage and things like that, to just pay everything off for her and put her into like pay for her retirement. That was my first goal before anything else. And I think I was like 12 years old. Um and I just wanted to do that for her. And I think that would be the most amazing gift I could ever give. Like, even if I got to the point where I passed away before I could even have children, I think I would pass away happily if I could do that for her.
Wonderful.
Great question.
That was a great, right? I know it was a great question. And I think that's very. I mean, I think most people can understand how a debt is something that is very stressing. Whether it's even just to like a family or friend that you have like a debt, it's something that you think about often, and it even more so when it's a house and your family is in it, sort of thing. Like that is like huge stress, of course. So I could definitely understand that, and it's no craziness, and no, I'm sure that'd be something that definitely, if it was similar for that, it would be something like that. But yeah, no, it's best of luck to Mama Posh, that's for sure. From our residence to yours. Yeah, that's no, I could imagine, and I'm sure it's a lot of stress, and it's something that I'm sure is thought about often, unfortunately. However, Posh, we've come to near the end here. However, I'm not letting you leave without the final question that we ask every single guest. That question is, if you wrote a book about your life up to now, what would the final line be?
The final line? Buy my next book? I don't fucking know. You haven't heard the last of me. No, I think the final line would be probably like something that is like a cliffhanger, like for now. Or, I can't wait for tomorrow. Something like that, because it's not over. It's not over, and it's forever going until I pass away. And then at that point, it will no longer be an autobiography. It will just be a biography, and then people can write whatever they wish after that. But yeah, I'm not writing it off and be like, I don't know. Like it wouldn't be anything inspirational. I think my life story itself is inspirational, so I don't need to add a nail in a coffin on that one. I think we'll leave the coffin open and wait for me to drop in first. So, yeah.
Fair enough. That was good. I like that. Well, everyone in chat, my lovely friends, the amazing Posh community, the Posh Party, as they call themselves. This has been the wonderful The amazing. Yes, hands up. Yes.
Yes. You thought we were gonna end it here,
I
but
mean,
little did you know, I actually have a question for you.
of course, you're more than welcome to shoot a question my way. That's of
This
course.
will be to prelude for your birthday, where technically the connections will be about you.
Sure.
But I did have a question that I was very much so curious to
For sure.
know, almost similar to the questions that was asked, but question. I'm sorry, your face is making me laugh.
I'm
Because I know that you're just like, wait a goddamn
no.
minute.
Okay. So my thing was you said surprise, and I was like, oh shit, because like, but you when you said question, I was like, okay, and it's a question. But okay, go on. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's
it's a
fair. That's fair.
question.
All good.
And my question for you is, yeah, I just have to like phrase it right because it
All
was gonna
good.
sound very like plain. But my question for you is, if you had one superpower, one superpower for only 1 year, right?
Ooh.
Unlimited power of whatever venue you choose to go, and you can create your own, but you only have 1 year. And at the end of the year, you end up losing one leg. What would it be?
To get a third leg. I don't know. Interesting. See, a little bit about me, and we actually, it's funny. In the past, I've talked about was already have a third leg. All right.
Because I had to take away something. You can't just have all this fun juiciness. There is always a consequence.
Oh,
There is a yin into a yang. So
100%. I totally agree.
I have to take away something. I feel like a
That's
leg
fair.
would be
That's fair.
a little bit easier to
Um,
kind of
which is not my middle one, Posh. Can't have that one. um, the um, the interesting. This is a good question. I like this. The thing is, for me, one, I'm not huge on superpowers, to be blatantly honest with you. I've never been one into like superhero movies really at all. Which is, I mean, I always get shit from everyone for, but I mean, I don't dislike them. It's never been my thing.
Mhm.
However, if I had to, and you're like, you have to do this, you can't just avoid the question, because I mean, I get it, it's connections, you have to answer the questions. I will say it's probably something towards learning. So something that I might not be able to keep, like the superpower, but I've already learned something from it, so that I take something away from it, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Here's one, actually. It's a little bit different.
Mm.
I wish I had some sort of superpower, and I don't know exactly what I would call it, but something that would make people be able to have like a kind of a way I say of things, or like a psychological way I say things, and maybe I already do, that makes people collaborate with each other in productive ways, that makes things come out of it. But I'm not just like, obviously, like in a very base level, I'm thinking connections. You mean like creators working together, but I'm thinking even further than that. Like, what if you have like some of the most brilliant minds in the world working together, instead of trying to produce their products against each other for money, is being able to work them together to the point where they can support each other and create these big mass ideas that might even be more helpful to the universe rather than destructive, because their money is the motivator. And so that would kind of, I guess, would be the way I'd use it, is some sort of thing to make people be more collaborative together and work together, whether it's with me or without me. But I think it'd be definitely something that'd be interesting in that sense. And I guess you can take the left leg, I guess.
Very interesting. So actually, the whole point of the question was on the if, but you kind of called it out on. You kind of called it out on, and you said, well, if I had to, but you don't have to. The question is, if you could have a superpower for a year, but the consequences is losing a leg, what superpower would it be? But that's if you chose to. And that was something that I learned through someone that I looked up to, and I actually learned drug addiction, um, and like its effects, and like from a medical standpoint, but also from the psychological standpoint and the social aspect as well. Since he did run a lot of facilities in New York City before they forcibly shut them down. But he told me everything is a choice. Not everything just, just because sometimes it may seem alluring, or sometimes someone propose something to you, it's all a choice. And that's kind of what I wanted to just kind of see about. I wanted to see if you thought outside the box a little bit, which you did. So I'll give you your brownie points. I'll give you your brownie points.
My
and
brownies.
Save your leg. You'll save your leg.
Sounds good. What if I don't want it now? No, I don't want it now. I've already came to amends. I didn't want it. It was shit and chopped off. I was like, you know what? Laugh, fine. Guess whatever. I don't know. It's Donovan, only a year. Yeah, give me invisibility. I'm trying to rob a few banks in that year and get the best prosthetic leg can. That's, I mean, big brain. That's my boy. That's all I will say is thank you, Marlene. I see your thing of the leadership in charisma, the power you speak of. I appreciate that, and that's something that I think strive for already. And I think as far as with you, Posh, is, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't need a superpower. I'm happy with where I am at, and I think I'm so grateful for what I do have and the people that I have met, just like you, Posh, and continue to get to meet. It's something that when I get to tell people that every Tuesday I get to meet a new friend, that is the coolest thing I can say. And I know there's not many people in the world that can say that. And I mean, hey, maybe one day this will be my job, and that'll be really, really cool. I can say I make money off of meeting people, and that is really cool to me. So, listen, third legs don't exist. Speak for yourself, Ken. What's it called? I will say is thank you to everyone. Thank you, Mom. Love you too. And I've got to met you, Fluffy. You've been definitely a light here in the last couple of days since I've met you, and speaking with you, and the things you've talked to me about as well. However, unless Posh has any more surprises for me.
No.
However, that was a great prelude to what's happening next Tuesday on Connections on Bren, which we'll run the promo one more time here, actually, before I do a little outro here. We'll see what... Actually, I don't even have it on here. I'm opening up things that aren't supposed to be opened. Which is right here. Enjoy that here before we head on out.
I say keep going. It's gonna be rough in the beginning when you're like, nobody's fucking watching me. I'm dog shit.
I love the show. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think it's fucking awesome, and I'm just so stoked to be here, man.
And that's what we all want, right? We all want to be wanted.
Like, as long as I can reach the paper, I'm fine. I don't want to be sticking my fingers in my butt accidentally.
Did you make your life worthwhile? Did you live to the fullest? Did you enjoy that moment?
I should be focusing on having fun doing this and creating every stream becoming my best stream, regardless of numbers.
You have to always have a growth mindset, so you're always looking to improve yourself.
Focus on yourself, really understand how you're feeling, and set your boundaries.
Wanting revenge is not the way. Forgiveness seems like a much more peaceful alternative.
It's adobo.
You're so adobo.
It's adobo. Over the past year on Connections, we have met over 40 content creators. And to end off 2021, I would like you to meet me on Connections on my birthday stream, December 28th. I hope you can join me and my lovely friends who will be there with me. So that is Connections on Bren. Yes, that is also Ken. That's you. And that'll be happening this next coming Tuesday, coming up 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hope you join us. It's going to be quite the event, and it is also my birthday. So if you'd like to come and hang out with me on my birthday, my actual birthday, my birthday stream, I'd love for you to spend the day with me. it's something, and I get to spend the day with a lot of my friends and hang out and with the people in chat and the people on screen. And so I'm very, very excited for that. That's next week. If you have any questions, bring them to the show. So keep that in mind. Exactly right. However, this is the part of the show, Posh, where I give the floor to you. As I go and find us someone to raid, I'm going to let you shout out whoever and whatever you would like right now. Go for it.
Okay, let me speed run through this. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who came into the stream, even if it's 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 second, or for the entirety of it. I appreciate the fact that y'all want to learn a little bit more about me, even though I feel like y'all know so much about me on my stream already. I also want to just prelude that on tomorrow I'm going to be doing a game with a lovely fellow streamer named Codename Sage, who has been in the stream before. And also Thursday I'm going to be doing my very first charity stream for against it's ACE, which is Alliance Against Child Exploitation. So this is supposed to be for children who are on the internet and the interwebs, whatever the case may be, and they're talking to people who are older. It doesn't have to be just men. And they are a nonprofit organization who is fighting against all these predators and making sure that they go into jail or they are receiving the proper consequences based off of legal legislations in the local areas. And they seem to be like the nonprofit organization that, yes, they're very small, but they, to me, with my research, I have been following them for a year and a half, almost 2 years, and they have been working their ass off with those little many resources they have to actually get results done. So I'm very happy and very proud to actually support them, than opposed to like a bigger nonprofit organization that it's harder for me to be able to understand where our profit or our donations are going towards. Lastly, well, that second to lastly, I'm so sorry. Second to lastly, I also want to say happy early birthday to Brad. Run the house, yeah. This amazing man has been busting his ass. Also cultivated an amazing team that supports him and his vision for the past year for connections, and now also pushing onto Who Are You, which is incredibly difficult, but yet they're still putting out all the promotions, all the streams on time, which is incredible work, and as well as the editing is just stellar. And the last thing I want to say is thank you to my mom.
Aw.
She is the reason why I'm here. And going back to my first little story of my best memory is I'm happy that my little angel ass floating in, I don't know, the world. I don't know where I was, but I saw her and I picked her, and I wouldn't have wanted to pick any better mother. I know that me and her, we tend to bump heads, and that's because she's a Virgo and I'm a Sag, and I don't want to hear what she has to say, and she can't say what she wants to say because I don't want to hear it. And I know sometimes, like, but I always listen to her. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be the person that I am. I am literally a mini version of her with a little bit of extra spice and sizzle. So that's what I wanted to really say. So I appreciate that. Yes,
Awesome.
Sag gang.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Really awesome. I think I've got someone. I think.
Fun.
I got it. You know what? We're gonna meet a new friend today. We're gonna meet a new friend here today. Sag gang, that's cool and all, but Capricorn gang, what's up?
You were so close. You were so close. Brandon.
It's all right. My sister was there, and that works. My sister's the 19th, so there's one in our family. However, we're gonna go raid someone who I thought had quite a. The name was what kind of piqued my interest, and the name is Gaming Grandma. And I was like, oh, really? And so I went and popped in and I saw a couple streams and very interesting vibes. It seems so comforting. And so I'm very, I don't know. It's one of the things here, it says Grandma's house is a safe space. And I don't know. That's just something that's I don't know, sits in my heart a little bit. So yeah, I'll see you there. Hope you join us. And next week, I hope you join us again when we do Connections on Bren. here on this channel. I want to say thank you to all of you. I see eGamer, I see Ray, I see Nene, I see Ken, I see Bands, I see Moon, I see Mama Lisa, that's my mama. I see Donovan, I see Fluffy, I see Actor, I see so many, Marlene, I see so many amazing people. No, not here. I see Wolf. I see so many amazing people here, and I want to thank you so much for being here. It's mean the world to me that there's so many things you could be doing today on this wonderful Tuesday, and maybe for some of you in the world Wednesday. And you chose to be hanging out with us. So I wanted to say thank you for doing that. That means the world to me. And now I want to go spread that love that you guys gave to me to hopefully a new friend, which is the gaming grandma. So get in that raid, get the raid message, !raid or !raid 1 if you're subbed, which apparently Streamlabs is not. And thank you so much, Moon. Good to see you. Thank you for spending some time with us too. You're so lovely. I think I saw Gaming Grandma on TikTok. Yo, that's crazy. I'm at Gaming Grandma in a Twitch chat somewhere, which is crazy. Someone Grandma gonna be on Connections too. I don't know. Maybe someone in here can ask. I'm just saying. However, go spread that love that I know you can, and enjoy. Oh my goodness, why are you guys giving me subs? No, this is not the time. This is time to go spread the love to the new friend. I think I saw on TikTok as well. Well, okay.
Streamlabs is subs. Now you can do raid 1 and it shows the.
Oh, Ray, thank you so much. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that a lot. However, I can't see now if we were rating out or not. I can't do it, bro. Hang on. Will it let me see it now? No.
Press view all and then switch over. View all. When you hover over it, view all will appear right underneath it, and it says
view all too. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
It says it's rating in 10 seconds, and I can't rate it. So email it. 7, 6. Bye. Love you all. Drink some water. Peace out. Bye bye.